This video is about asynchronous programming in JavaScript. Let's start by talking about what asynchronous programming means. Asynchronous programming allows you to have more control over the execution order of your functions. Let's go into an example to clarify this. So normally JavaScript runs synchronously. Functions are executed in the order in which they are called. So we've got getFile called here in line 6 and then useFile in line 7. So getFile gets executed first and then useFile gets executed. But what happens sometimes is some of the function calls can be triggered from your browser and they don't wait for the result. So getFile could be a function that requests a file from a remote server and doesn't wait for the result. So the next function useFile would be called. Now let's say useFile uses the file received from getFile, but it's supposed to use the file received from getFile, but by the time this function starts execution, maybe you don't have the result from getFile. Then you probably have a null reference somewhere inside useFile. We can simulate this situation using this setTimeout function. So let me give you an example of how we use timeout function. Takes two parameters. The first one is the function that it's supposed to execute, and the second one is the time interval after which it starts execution, which is in milliseconds. So 2000 means 2000 milliseconds, which is 2 seconds. This line here is supposed to simulate the fact that it takes 2 seconds to get the file. So now if we run this JavaScript, what happens is getFile starts filing first, but it takes 2 seconds to print this thing in the console, and by the time 2 seconds have passed, the useFile gets called first. So we get the console output useFile first. So this is the wrong order of execution. Let me show you the demo. Right. So useFile gets executed first and then getFile gets executed. So this is where callbacks come into the picture. They help you give more control over the execution order. So let me show you how we can use callback to solve this problem. Callback gives you the opportunity to pass a function inside another function as a parameter. For example, here inside this getFile function, we can pass another function. We're calling it callback right now. So what this code does is it executes the implementation of the get file. That is, it gets the file, and then once the implementation of get file is complete, the function that was passed here as the parameter can be called. So this ensures that the callback function is called only after the implementation of this get file is completed. You can see here we've simulated this in a way that get file takes 2 seconds to execute, but it takes this another function called useFile as a parameter. So after 2 seconds of starting our program, the get file is called, which takes as an input useFile, and it calls useFile only after the implementation of get file is complete. So only after we get the file, we use the file. We can see the demo here. So it's waiting 2 seconds, it's getting the file, and only then it's using the file. So this way we can control the order of execution of functions using callback.